All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mommy Guide Inc. All right, this is Mommy Lala. Okay, we've been having a little bit of a tech issue, but that's fine. That's part of the show. All right, so it's another Friday here in the Philippines, and that means that it's the end of the work week for most of us, and for our children, it's the end of their school week for those who are not yet in summer vacation. We're a little bit early today because we have a guest that's coming from the East Coast of the United States. All right, so our topic for today is about safety. Safety, not just for us, but for the rest of the family when we go on to the internet, specifically our social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. All right. So if you are on your way to work, you're already at work, or you're still at home, and you have questions, please feel free to put your questions on the comments, whether you're watching us on Facebook of Mommy Guide Inc. or my personal Facebook page or the YouTube channel of Mommy Guide Inc. Then please put your questions and we will post them and ask our guests for it. All right. So our guest this morning um, is Mr. Eric J. Belardo, CEO and founder of Protect X Cyber Solutions, a cybersecurity, business continuity, and resilience and physical security firm. A U.S. Army military intelligence veteran, Eric brings over 30 years of cybersecurity and risk experience across many industry domains, including government, DoD, international, financial, and civilian markets. Eric also specializes in developing solutions to challenges in emerging risks, business continuity, incident response, and vulnerability management to identify, mitigate, and remediate threats in IT, OT, TOT for business, IoT for businesses of all size and types. That's the nice thing about it. You don't need to be a very big company for them to actually help you out. And so, without further ado, let's all welcome Mr. Eric J. Belardo. Hi, Eric.
Hello, everybody. Hello,
All
Lala. How
right.
are you doing?
I'm cool. Sorry about what happened during that countdown timer. I don't know. My stream deck is going
Hey.
berserk. So, how are you, Eric? How's your day been?
I'm doing wonderful. Doing wonderful. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Oh, it's a blessing to have you on the show, Eric, because, lately we've been on cyber, on the internet for the most, because of the pandemic. So, but the thing is, we've seen a lot of, hacking of accounts and stuff. So, our topic for today is actually really very timely and a must for everybody, even for moms like me, right?
That is correct. That is correct. I mean, there's a lot of people that use technology all day long. They're on the internet, you're teaching your children, you're doing your shopping from home,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people think that they're secure because they just bought a new device. They have a new iPhone or a new iMac or a new computer, a new phone, and they don't realize that these computers come completely open to the world. So being able to secure your devices and close all these doors and windows that you have are gonna benefit you. But everybody thinks they know how to use technology, but the inside, little pieces there is what people don't learn. So this is very timely for everybody. Cybercrime has just blown up in the recent years with us being locked down. Cyber criminals have nothing better to do, but that this is what they're doing. And every year, cybercrime keeps on growing exponentially. So
Exactly. So it's very timely indeed. And thank you so much again for coming over. So, Eric, so how do we actually, most Filipinos, we are so fond of social media. So there's Facebook, Instagram, some are even on TikTok, Twitter. All right. So, how safe are we and how can we actually protect ourselves?
well, I'm going to give you guys one thing for you guys to think about. There is just about a few weeks ago, there was a report that over 600,000 hackers log into Facebook alone every single day, trying to exploit people, trying to get accounts and penetrate those systems. That's on a daily basis, and that's from Facebook alone. So people need to realize the amount of cybercrime that is out there, be it on
Mm.
social media, be it on your Facebook, be it on your Instagram, TikTok. The strategies that I'm going to hopefully teach you today are things that you can do on all the social media platforms, not just Facebook and Instagram. It's just being safe, having some common sense, and configuring your accounts in a specific way so that you don't fall victim to these types of crimes.
Cool. That's so it's actually applicable not just for Facebook or Instagram, right?
Yep,
All right. So let's
correct.
just read some comments before we start, Eric. So never call me again. Hi. All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. From Sam, Scrap Stash. Good morning, Lala Bear. Eating breakfast while watching you guys. And good morning, Miss Vivian. All right. So if you have questions later on, please feel free to put the comments. All right. And we'll also try to pull them
Yeah,
up.
I want to know what they're eating for breakfast. That's what I
Okay.
want to know.
So, Scrap Stash, what are you eating for breakfast? Yes, because this is not a normal time for us. Normally, we go live at noon. All right. Okay, so Eric, so before we can proceed, I think.
All right, wonderful. Thank
Okay.
you very much. All right. So, like Lala said, please, while we're going through this, go ahead and type your questions in the comments here. We're going to pause through the presentation and answer your questions for anybody that's there. Okay, wonderful. So let's begin here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about online safety, how to protect your accounts in Facebook and Instagram. Just want to start with a little bit of something that happened in one of the groups that we're in, where we had somebody that had a small business that was doing things on Facebook and Instagram. And unfortunately, somebody took over, hacked her password, took her account, and did a lot of bad things with the account, and also spent some money with ads and things of that nature. And when she contacted these organizations, she was not able to recover her accounts
Oh.
because the people that did it were of the terroristic persuasion. So
Oh.
um, so what I tell you guys is this is real. This is happening to people. This is not something you see on TV. This is
Mm,
not something you see, that happens to other people. This can happen to you. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. So Susan, well, let's read her message here.
All right. Okay. Susan is asking, I was unaware. Okay, why is it red? Okay.
Uh,
Hold on.
okay.
Okay. Can you read it, Eric? It's
I can read it.
okay. I
Okay.
wasn't
That
aware.
Facebook is.
Okay. That my friend's FB was hacked yesterday. I got a message asking for my phone number because she lost all her contacts while reformatting. I gave her my number. He then sends me a text message with a code for my Yahoo account. At this point, I got suspicious. I unfriended him and blocked him from my phone. I then changed my Yahoo password. Am I now protected?
Okay, so two things. Make like I said, changing your passwords immediately is very important. If you can, and we're going to talk about that in a few seconds, is enable two-factor authentication on your accounts. That's going to protect you completely on that. Okay, so that's very important. So let's go ahead and get into the presentation because
Okay.
this is exactly what we're talking about here. Okay, so all right, here we go. All right. So first things first. When you are on social media, make sure that you verify every contact. Make sure that the person you're talking to is the person that you expect. Same thing that Susan just mentioned is, how do I, make sure that this person is who they are? Make sure that this person, or it's a friend of a friend, that don't just open yourself to a lot of different people. The
Mm-hmm.
second part, and we say this all the time, we have to repeat this because this happens so much in our industry and in the world. Protect your banking and financial information. If somebody asks you for your information, your banking information, your credit card information, or anything like that in an open forum, in a message, in a direct message, on Instagram or something like that, do not give it. You have no idea how many times that people do give this information out, and they give it freely. So please be wary of that, and then be wary of strangers. Just recently, we had in one of our groups as well, where we had somebody that came into the group and started friending everybody, and this person was what we
Yeah.
call a sock puppet. We call them a sock puppet. It's a fake account trying to get information from different people. Okay. The other part is keep your accounts secure, keep your passwords secure. Don't use the same password for Facebook and Instagram. Well, it's the same system. So, Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or your bank or your email, don't use those different things. If let's just say that you get a compromise of one of your TikTok accounts, now they will definitely try the same email and password on all your accounts. And if you use the same password, then multiple accounts will get taken. Okay. And the
Mm-hmm.
last thing that I always tell people is secure your computer. Okay. You get on if you're on a Windows machine, every Tuesday you have patches. You have patches that come out, or updates that come out. We call it Patch Tuesday. With Macs, periodically they do the updates that they have, and the same thing with iPhones. So make sure that you secure and you keep your devices up to date with patches and all the updates. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Coffee Talk and Tech says he loves his sock puppets. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So let's go here. So 10 tips that we're going to discuss today. And this is just a review, and we're going to get into the details here. So 10 tips for you guys to secure your social media accounts. Okay. The first one, we're going to talk about passwords and two-factor authentication. What is it? The second thing that we're going to talk is accounts alerts that are activated in Facebook. Okay, the next piece is privacy. What are the information that you need to do to manage privacy within your profile? The next thing is who can see what you share. We sometimes overshare information, and we can kind of put that to a smaller group in there so that we can protect ourselves. The next thing is tagging. And this is part of Instagram, where you can tag anybody on your account, on your pictures, and Facebook, the same thing. Tagging all those accounts. And can we turn it on? Can we turn it off? And I'm going to teach you how to turn it off. Okay. And then the other part is how people can find you. Okay. One thing is for you to be able to say, please follow me on these accounts. But the other thing is, what if I have your cell phone? So like
Mm-hmm.
Susan mentioned, now they have her
Yes.
cell phone. Would they be able to find her on social media?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about that as well. Okay. Messenger. When we use Messenger, now Instagram and Facebook use the same messenger. It's now combined. So when you're using the Messenger on Facebook, it's the same one as Instagram. Okay. So there's other areas there. How do we, how do we protect ourselves by not sharing, when we are active, those little bubbles that turn green to say, I'm here, I'm logged in. Okay, so
Mhm.
we can protect ourselves. The next part, the
Data.
data settings in on Facebook. There are so many data settings on Facebook because there are so many things that Facebook collects on everybody. And we'll talk about that in a second here. Then your location settings. That is one that I always tell people, please turn these off, but that's because I'm very, very paranoid about that. And we'll talk a little more about that. And then the last thing that I want you guys to learn today is about blocking and reporting. And then how do you block people? How do you report people when they do something wrong? And this is very, very important because if Facebook and Instagram and social media companies don't know that these people are saying or doing things that are against their terms of service,
Mhm.
you're the first line of defense for some of these companies, and to protect your timeline and to protect yourself. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
So we've got a question here.
Okay. Okay, from Miss Ayin. Okay. It's red. Eric, do you know how to change this into? Oh, okay. Anyway, it says, "Hi, Sir Eric and Miss Lara. There were issues in FB lately about tagging every person, including me, even though we're not friends in FB, and posting malicious photo. How can you help avoid this problem, especially most of my FB friends are in the crafting community, where I am actually also. Is linking accounts to different devices bad or less secured?" All right,
Okay.
Ayin,
So,
I think Eric is going to answer those later, right? Eric, as you talk about all those 10
yes.
tips.
Yes, but I'm going to say, Tayan, two things.
All right.
Okay. Two things. Number one, two different topics there, the tagging piece, which we're going to talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
and how you can avoid people tagging you on photos like that. And
Yes.
two, the next part is linking account to different devices. Is it less secure or more secure? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the answer for that second question right now.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you protect the other devices, meaning you don't leave your phone sitting around, or your tablet or your second or your laptop or your desktop unsecure, you should have no problems. I have my Facebook on my phone, I have it on my desktop, and I have it on my laptop. So it's not inherently insecure, but make sure you follow some good protection, physical security. Make sure you don't leave your phone laying around that somebody can take it. Make sure you log out of your devices when you're not using them, and that's going to help you be more secure. So, okay, so let's start with passwords here.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks,
so
Eric.
guys,
All right. So,
no
passwords.
problem. Okay, so passwords. Okay, we always try to tell people that make your passwords as secure as possible. But what does that mean? Okay, that means, and I'm going to give you guys some quick numbers. If I make a password that's 8 characters long and it's only letters, a good hacker, or even a bad hacker, one that doesn't know very much, can hack that password in seconds, okay, with any program. If you combine passwords and numbers, it's going to take about 8 hours of processing. If you combine letters, numbers, and characters, now you're talking maybe a couple days to do that. If you make your passwords, and I'm going to give you the magic number here, 11 characters or more, with numbers, letters, and characters, it could take a normal computer years to crack that password. Okay. So the biggest things that you can do, well, one of the biggest things that you can do is ensure that you use, and to do that, we use the concept called pass phrases. And what are pass phrases? Okay. That's, instead of using a password, we use something like, I'll say it like this: love for my kitty cat. Okay. And then we say 0v34, the number 4, and then you put kitty instead of a I, you put a 1, and you notice how that's something you can remember. Love for my kitty cat. Okay, it's very long and it's almost 15 characters. Okay, now the next thing that we tell people is don't use the same password for everything. So I would put FB for Facebook, love my kitty cat, or TW for Twitter, or IN for Instagram. So use some code in the beginning and then put your passphrase. That's going to give you a strong password. And that's just a strategy. You don't have to do that, but that's just something for you guys to, come up with your own strategy to create your passwords. Make or combine different words. Instead of doing a password like you're accustomed to do it, say tree, car, red, or something like that. And so you have a combination of letters, of words, and then put numbers between it or characters between it, and that will give you a longer password. Make sure that they're not common words like I just used, because those are what we normally use to do a dictionary attack. Okay, so that's a passphrase, making your passwords long, complex, and something you can recognize. Then the next thing that you hear a lot is two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication or 2FA. You've seen it too many times there. And what that means is in security, we have 3 factors. Okay, 3 factors. We have the first one is something you know, which is your username and password. Something you have, which is your phone. So you've got your phone, okay, or your authenticator. That's your second factor. And then you have your third factor, which is something you are. And that's when we get into the fingerprints and eye scanners or hand scanners or anything like that. So every social media now and most of the email providers provide a way to do two-factor authentication. That's that SMS message with 6 or 8 digits that you receive when you log in. If somebody were to try to log into your account, they will still need, if they hacked your password, they would still need to have your phone to get that a code so they can still log into your phone. So what does that do? 2 things. It won't, if they don't have your phone, they can't log in. And 2, if you receive the code and you didn't ask for it, now you know that somebody's trying to hack into your account and you can go and change your password. Okay? So in Facebook, you go into your Facebook or into Instagram, you go into your settings and privacy, you go into your login part, okay? Within your settings, you go into your login part, and then there is an area for two-factor authentication right here. Go ahead and click on that and you can enable the SMS, okay? And then every time you log into Facebook or somebody tries to log into Facebook, you will receive a code. Okay. And that is the best way to protect your account.
All right. Eric, can we read some questions?
Certainly.
Okay.
Let's do this.
From Marie, she's asking, when sending bank info to a customer for a business transaction, like online, we buy stuff, after the payment had been settled, would it be help to remove it on Messenger? Because sometimes they ask you to send the, details of the payment through Messenger.
Yeah. Oh, 2 things that I say. Yes, I would definitely do that if that's the only way that you would, but I would probably use a second communication. So I would send it to them either by text message. So if the transaction happened on Facebook, make sure you use a second form of communication. That's what make it more secure. So you got payment through Facebook, I will send you an email with your receipt, or I will send you a text message with your receipt. Okay? So I would do two different lines of communication. That way if something happened and you are being intercepted in one, then you don't get the information on the second one.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So Coffee Talk and Text says good tips. And then another thank you. And then another um, message from Scrap Stash. Okay, it's not working.
Okay.
Anyway, after
The
creating a good password, how do you back up password safely? All right, you have a very good password, but then most of the time, the, the issue is, especially for the elderly, how do you remember? And if you have like several
okay.
accounts, how do you remember which one goes with which?
I do not want anybody using this. Do not use sticky notes, okay? Do not write your passwords in a sticky note. Okay. So, in the systems, there are certain what we call password managers. Password managers are these programs that you can buy that you can save your passwords to everything, and it helps you by creating a password or by storing a password. And when you go into those websites, it remembers, it sees what website you are, and it can autofill them for you in a secure manner. There are three main systems that are out there that are really, really good, and we use them professionally. And those are LastPass, 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 KeePass, which is Keepass, and Dashlane. Okay. So those are the things that you should look at, and go ahead and do a search for same LastPass, just to give you a good indicator.
All
I don't
right.
sell these things. I don't sell these things. I'm not
Yes.
affiliate of them,
But
but
you
but
can
they're
recommend that these are actually because you use it, right, Eric? You use
yep.
this. Yeah. So
the
that's why he knows. All right.
Yeah,
Also,
and actually, somebody on the chat, I think Steve mentioned that he uses LastPass.
yes, here.
Yeah.
I've started using LastPass and it's been amazing. Thank you, Steve, for also watching. Here, another question. Sir, I use different characters on my password, but I only use one password to all my Crafty subscriptions. Is that okay? I think not. And is it a risk if I have to save some of my passwords on my mobile phone? It's a Samsung app, have this locked option. Is that safe? If it's an
Okay,
app?
so there's two things. The first part to your question is you should not have the same password for every site, and that's why a password manager is going to help you. That's number one. Number two, Samsung has a version of this, which is a password manager within your account so that you can create and store the passwords there. That is an option for you to use. That is a good option to do. It's a better option than using sticky notes. Okay, so make sure, even though, okay, I have, sticky notes all over the place here
Oh
because
no,
that's what I
look.
do.
Look at this, Eric. Oh no, I used to use sticky notes. Yes, so Samantha, stop using sticky notes. Okay, I have a password manager and it's a lifesaver from Never Call Me Again.
Yeah.
All
Or they
right.
are lifesavers. And and the other part that you need to know is that
Mm-hmm.
the password managers, when you use them on the computer, they also have an app for your phone. So it synchronizes your passwords between your devices, so that it doesn't matter if you did a password that's 22 characters and you're trying to use it on your phone. Um, it will also be there for you.
You know, Eric,
Okay.
I thought that was unsafe. So I never even tried that. I've been asked to do that. Do you want me? So I said always no, no, no. Because I thought it's not safe to do that.
Only if you're using a product like LastPass or KeyPass or Dashlane. Okay,
But
those, yes.
otherwise, okay.
Otherwise, don't save your accounts in whatever. When you got a web page that says, "Do you want me to save your account, your
Yes.
password?"
No. No. Okay.
No.
No. All right. All right. Scrap Stash is asking, I encountered them. Ano kaya yung them? Several times in my different accounts, trying to enter my accounts. A good security plus common sense really do help. All
Yeah.
right. Oh, I think at Steve Worthy, thank you. We'll look on to that. Okay. I think he mentioned about
Yeah.
LastPass. Okay. And
Yeah.
Ian says, thank you. Is Google Authenticator okay? Okay, thumbs up. Double thumbs up, Scrap Stash. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
another question
Yes.
for Steve before we proceed. My email that was hacked was extremely old and used for years. I recently started a new email address and closed the old one. Oh, it was more of a comment, right? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
So again, this what I have on the screen right now, this two-factor authentication. Google, go to your Google account settings and turn it on for your Google account. If you use Yahoo, which you shouldn't, but that's a different story. But your Gmail. I was about to say Hotmail too, but that'll tell you how old we are. Okay, so and if you have AOL accounts, make sure. Okay, no. So long story short is please make sure that you turn on all the security for your emails as well. The two-factor authentication doesn't matter what system you use. If you use Outlook or MSN or any of these other ones, they do have it in the settings. And on your social media accounts, on your Twitter account, on your TikTok, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, as you can see in the settings here, they have that. Okay. So I'm going to go forward here and I'm going to talk to you guys about the alerts. So the other part here is within the settings of Facebook and Instagram, because now you're going to have the same ones here. Okay. There are notifications that you can turn on for accounts, for account things. So you go into your setting up extra security in your Facebook and you can get notifications when somebody tries to log into your account. And why is that important? If you get a notification that somebody's trying to log in your account, you can go on another device and change your password immediately. Okay. And because at that point in time, somebody is trying to do you harm. Think of it like turning on your cameras on your house. Okay. So if you can see that somebody's out the door, you can call the police, right? So when you do that in your account alerts, turn them on and get your notifications. The same thing for your accounts, same thing for your messenger. Okay. And the other good part to do is choose somebody that you know and love and trust that they can contact if you get locked out. So if somebody were to get your account and lock it, you can actually choose somebody. It doesn't give them access to your account. It just basically, it's one of those when you get a, can I reset my email? Okay, they can get the email for you. Okay, this is not access to your email. It's just other contacts that can receive these reset emails. So that's very, very important to set up as well. Okay. Privacy, managing your privacy. Okay. This is very important because a couple years ago we had an issue, and this was about 4 or 5 years ago in the last election. Yes, the election before the one that we had here in the United States. We had issues with privacy. Companies were getting a lot of information across the world of people that were on Facebook. And to give you guys, and not this is not to scare you, but on an average Facebook user, they have anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 points of interest or pieces of information for each one of you, from the things that you like, the things that you look at, the things that you search for, your I'll start with the top, your birth dates, your wishes, your likes, the bands that you like,
Your
the
bio,
music
right?
that your I mean, that's just think of it. There's 1,000 points that you can see by looking at your Instagram or your Facebook or your Twitter. Okay. With that, Facebook got caught selling this information, and we have in different parts of the world, we have these privacy laws. In Europe, we have the GDPR.
Mhm.
In different parts of the world, we have privacy laws. So one of the things that I tell you guys is go into your privacy settings, and we're going to talk on the next one about your privacy checkup. But go
Mhm.
ahead and see your Facebook information. What do they see? What is in your log? What is your information? You can clear your information or delete your information in that area. That's very crazy, but just access your information and look at that. Okay. And then the next part that combines with that is your privacy settings. I do this test every month that I look at this. So you go into your privacy settings and there's a privacy check
Mhm.
system. And you go through this and you hit it and it will go through all the settings like a wizard, and it will say, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? So do your privacy check at least once a month. Okay.
Oh.
And it's things
So
like
this has
your
to be done monthly, Eric, because it can change.
I do because I'm a security person, but
Mm.
but on a normal basis, people do it about once every 3 months, once every 6 months. They do that,
Yeah.
but it's check to see if anything has changed. Basically, check to see who can see your posts. Check to see if
Oh,
you want,
yeah.
like for instance, when somebody shares something or tags you in a post, you can choose whether it goes directly into your feed or do you want to review it before it posts. So like one of your viewers just said
Yeah.
is they tagged her in some things that were not good.
Appropriate. Yeah.
Okay. So, or appropriate. So if she had set this up to say, I need to review anything that anybody tags me in or posts on me,
Oh.
then she could have said, do not post on my account, delete it. Okay. So it
Okay.
wouldn't have gone direct in there. Okay.
Okay. So can we pull out another question, Eric? Okay. I have a Grab app. Are you familiar with Grab? Something like
I'm not.
something like Uber,
Oh, okay.
something like that. But Grab, it's more than just delivery or picking up people. Now it can also do packages and stuff like that. So I have no trust of linking my bank account to that service. That this one's Grab. Until now, should I trust the app? Should give it a try? Probably.
I would. I don't know about that company. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that, like Uber and so most companies. I'm just going to
Mm-hmm.
say in general, most applications that are out there, because there's so much cybercrime right now. Any company, any company is liable to get, um, you know, in a data breach, and your stuff get. So what I tell you is pay attention to news, pay attention to anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people not to live paranoid. Okay, don't be
Okay.
paranoid. Don't be, just keep your eyes open,
Mm-hmm.
because if you hear that Grab gets a breach, then you should go directly to your bank, take that card out, and monitor that, and be able to freeze your account or stop it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of things that I tell people is just make sure that you can respond to an event and know that the events are happening. That's so I the other thing that I do is, for some of those applications that I don't trust very much,
Mm-hmm.
is I will go to the grocery store and buy those prepaid cards. You know,
Okay.
that you can buy a Visa or
Oh
MasterCard that
yeah,
you can buy
payment.
for and put like $50 in it. And then I would use that
To
for
pay.
my apps.
That's good.
And then if
Okay.
I need to add some money, I just go to the grocery store, I add
Yeah, and
$20 more. And
all
so,
right. Last
okay.
Eric before we proceed. Sandy Thompson, because it's from my personal page, so we can't pull it up. And she's asking, what is probability that will you get your FB account back if it got hacked? And there is no way to get in contact with FB.
Depends on okay, so it depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just somebody took your account, changed your password, and you were able to connect with them, um, there is a good process for recovering hacked accounts. And I would say in a non-COVID time, it was actually it worked very well. On COVID time, they don't have that many people working these types of functions, so it's very hard to do. Okay, and we had, like I said, we had somebody from our group that wasn't able to recover their accounts even though they tried.
All right.
Okay,
So
so
I think that's why we need to take note of all the tips that you're giving
mhm,
us today. So to
yep.
prevent that at least from happening.
Correct. Correct. And for your viewers, the biggest thing that you can do is make sure you have, like I said, and that's why I said it first. If you take nothing from this, enable your two-factor authentication. Even if you don't have a very big complex password, if you have the two-factor authentication and your password gets hacked, they still need the second factor. So they will not get into your account. Okay?
All right, Eric. Thank you. Next.
All right, no problem. So the next part is the tagging, as we mentioned. Okay, so in your security settings, you have an area called profile and tagging. So to your viewer that had the tagging issue, here's your answer. Okay, so who can this defines who can post on your profile, what others can see, are others allowed to share? Okay. And then who can see posts that are tagged to you, and so on and so forth, like you see here. Okay. As well as in the bottom there, the reviewing part. Okay. Do you notice how I have mine turned on? So nobody can post anything to my wall or to my account without it first giving me an alert that says, hey, Lala just posted a picture, okay, and tagged you. Do you want to post it on your wall? And you'll see that in your notifications. So you click on that, you go to a specific page on Facebook that, if you haven't seen it, it's very easy. It just has the posts. It looks like a mini wall, and it has all the posts that you need to review. And then you just click accept, 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 and that's it, and you're done. Okay? So you can change those. I also have that I don't have friends or public. If you can see, most things I have them completely closed like that. So if you're not a friend, or you're not, or I haven't reviewed you, you can't post. So that's very important to protect yourself from. This is more from the malicious users, from the trolls, and people that are trying to put things that are not appropriate to your stuff. But also, this is the way that people will try to come into your profiles and post something to get you to talk to them, and this can lead to stalking or anything like that. So okay. And then again, how can people find you on Facebook? Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so if you look at this area and somebody has your email or your phone number, so again, going back to one of the questions that we had at the beginning of the stream, was at the beginning of the program, somebody said, hey, they have my phone number right now. or they have my, they have my phone number. So there is a setting here that says who can look you up, who can look up your profile based on your number. Okay, so can you turn that on? Can you turn it off? If it's a friend, um, if somebody look you up using your telephone number? Okay, and I put this on purpose here as everyone, just to show you how open you can be. So if I had your telephone number, your cell number,
Mhm.
and that's the cell number that you use to make your account, anybody in the world could potentially put my number on a on the Facebook, on the unauthenticated Facebook, and find my profile. Okay, so that should be to friend to shorten to something. Who
Okay.
can use my email? I just said friends. Okay, so that's it. And the last one is: do you want search engines like Google to archive your profile on Facebook and being able to search you? So if you search your name on Google,
Mhm.
and if you had that turned to yes, your link to your profile would appear to anybody that search your name. It is good to have that open, of course, for a business account or something like that, because that's how people find you, but not for your personal account.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. We're getting close to the end here, people. All right. So if you're still with us, I want to
All
give
right.
you guys a big woohoo. Come on, Lala. Give him the. There you go. All right. All right. So Susan's asking, how do I close my Yahoo accounts? Okay. So you go to two things that you need to do. Is go to your Yahoo, go to your settings page, and within the settings page of the Yahoo account, there is a delete my account. If you can't find it when you are logged into your account, go to your help on the top of the Yahoo and type in account deletion. And because of CCPA, or the California Consumers Privacy Act, and the GDPR, they are required to allow you to delete your account, okay, by law. So go ahead and go in there, do a search on the help, and you should be able to find it and completely delete all your Yahoo
Okay.
functions.
Eric, I have a
Okay.
follow up on that. What if you use that second account? Let's say you're on Gmail and then you use that Yahoo account as like a second, email for verification or stuff. So, do you think you should keep that account or just choose another way if you know
Okay.
you're no longer using that account, anyways?
It depends. Okay, so an unused account can be taken over by a hacker and used for malicious purposes for yours. So if you're not actively using and you don't have it secured, it's okay to have multiple accounts. Okay, I've got probably 12 or 13 different emails. Okay, but I'm using them and I'm monitoring them. Any of those accounts that lie dormant are the ones that they use for phishing. Once they capture your account, they use it for malicious purposes. So close the accounts that you're not using, but keep the ones that you want. I mean, it doesn't matter how many accounts you have. Just make sure that they have two-factor authentication, that you're changing your passwords at least every 90 days on account, and keep on maintaining them. If you keep on maintaining them, no problem. Okay? I hope I answered your question.
Yes, Eric, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, the next thing is Messenger. Your Messenger, and this is for both Instagram and Facebook. So and this is a kind of a more of a personal desire thing, but I will tell you that we've had some friends of ours, some customers, some people that have helped over the years who have had unfortunate issues with online bullying, online stalking, online harassment. And one of the things that I tell them very quickly is any account that has an active status notification, turn it off. Okay. What does this mean? This means when I open my Messenger, it tells the world, hey, I'm on Messenger right now. It's the same thing that, you go to, um, Skype or WhatsApp, and you turn it on. And as soon as you open it, it says, hey, Eric is online. Okay. So if you turn off your active status, that little green ball that says I'm online will not come on for anybody else. Okay. So you can check your messages, talk to your friends. But what happens is if a hacker or somebody else, I'll say the stalker, a hacker, a bully turns on, as soon as they see that you're on, that's when they start the assault or the attacks. So this is something that is very important. And within Messenger, you have the ability to block, and you see it there on your block settings there. Block messages that you don't want to receive. Okay. Don't be afraid to use the block, the unsubscribe, the unfollow. You're not hurting anybody's feelings. You need to protect yourself. Go ahead and block away.
Block
Okay.
away.
Block away. I remember one time I said something on Twitter. I got attacked for saying something that was very true. And I spent the last half hour, the next half hour, blocking people and unsubscribing people because they're it's like that. So don't fear the block messenger. Okay, don't fear it. Okay. Data settings. As I've been talking to you guys, there's a lot of data settings. There's data settings on your posts. There's data settings on your photos. There's on your likes and comments and friends and messages. All of this is here. All this information that Facebook and Instagram collects on you, everything is here. So here is in the access your information piece, or your Facebook information here. You can request from Facebook a complete information, view and manage all of them like you see here. And you can ask to see your information by category like what you see here. Or you can choose to download all your information. And so if you're going to deactivate your account for, say you're taking a break off of Facebook, and a lot of people do that, there's a way to download, and this is something that people ask me all the time. I've been using Facebook for 10 years. I've got all my pictures of my family and my kids and all the
Yes.
activities that I've done. Well, look, I can go here and click on transfer a copy of my photos or videos, and I can click on that, and all that information can be downloaded to your computer. All your photos, all your videos, all that stuff. So, and download your information. That's a big dump of all the information that you've had. Okay, so that is all available within this, and now includes your Instagram stuff as well. Okay.
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 Location.
Location. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to say something that's a little controversial, but you can, Lala. You're the mommy. You can slap me on the hand. Okay. Okay, so everybody's concerned about this whole fake thing about your vaccines having a microchip in it.
Mm-hmm.
Completely false, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what people are worried about, oh, the government can track me. The government can track me. Hey, guys, you have a tracker right here. Okay, this thing right here that you have,
Yeah.
tracks you more than you know. Okay, so people that worry about their vaccines and have a phone, every piece of information, your iPhone, your Android phone, your watch, it tracks all your location in a map. Okay. If you go to your Facebook and you go to your location history, you will see dots every place you have visited, even locally, from your home to the supermarket to wherever, from your school and everything. It's
Mhm.
there. So if I were to take over your account and gone to your location, I can find you anywhere in the world. Okay.
Oh.
Now, good part is, and I was trying not to scare anybody, but one of the things that you guys can do is turn the location history off so that it doesn't record it. Okay. So you go here, location history, turn on location history for mobile phones, you edit, and you turn that to off. Okay. So that's a good strategy. If you're very worried about your privacy, that's something you do. Okay.
Eric, is there a way or is there a purpose for it that you need to turn it on, or really nothing? It's really for more for
Okay.
the provider to track you down. For our
Well,
purpose, is there?
okay. So the purpose of locations is more for advertisement. I'll just be very honest. Okay, it's for advertisement. Have you ever seen that you go into a local grocery store and then you look at your Facebook and you start seeing the ads for that grocery store? It's because it knows that you went into that store and you might be interested. The algorithm will say might be interested in this, or you're at a location, and then you say, hey, there's a sale at this restaurant and it's close by to you. You notice that starts happening. So that's kind of the reason for the location, is to get you better tagged for ads. There are some applications that help you that require locations, like, if you're
Ways.
running or exercising, and you want to do your map and track your GPS, then that's a good use for location settings. But in general, they're mainly used for ad,
For ways,
for
Eric, like when I drive around, the Philippines is normally a traffic land, right? So traffic jams everywhere. So even if I'm going like from point A to point B and it's like 30 minutes away, I would still use the Waze app or
yeah.
Google Map to actually show me the fastest route. Is that safe?
Yeah.
All right. So just turn it on and off. After I've used it, turn it off.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'd say for other applications that are not social media. So Waze is kind of the mix of the two. It's social media with Google Maps, if you will. Um, I basically give the authority to only use locate. So you can go into your phone settings and just set. It can use my location settings only when I'm using this application. Okay. And that's in your permissions of your app. Okay.
All right.
So,
Thanks,
yes.
Eric.
And we have a question. So you might want to read that one. It's very good.
Yes. So, what if you want to track your family members, like your kids? Can't it be limited to family use only? We have actually certain apps actually who does this. Is that safe?
So, first I'll say I'm glad that you weren't my mommy. Well, I was a good boy. I was a good boy. Okay, so there are applications that are very good to track your children. Yes. Um, what Look at those applications and do a search for vulnerabilities. Just use the word vulnerabilities and then add the settings for it. I'm glad she said ha ha ha. Okay. Um, so check your vulnerabilities, and because the worst thing you want to do is to give the bad guys the location of your children. So if most applications that do the tracking, the children tracking, are pretty safe. Okay. Um, but the reason I tell you, if your children have like a Facebook account or something like that,
Yes.
they're over 13, I would tell you turn that off, because that is a gold mine for those bad people on the internet that are looking for children. Okay. So
Oh,
turn that off, and use a separate account for children tracking or family tracking. There's some really good family tracking apps. Those are good. Okay, so
all right.
Lala, if you want, and Ian wants to hear about that, we can talk after.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric.
No problem. Okay, so the last thing that I want to give you guys is blocking and reporting. Like I told you guys, don't fear the blocking and reporting. Do it. This is not school where you're telling on your classmates. Okay? Make sure that when you see a post that is directed to you, directed to any of family members, kids, or anything like that, make sure you report it. Okay. And if you right click on the actual post, you get this here. Okay. During this last year, when we had so many things happening in the world, and I had family members or family or friends that were, of a different political affiliation than mine. And I really didn't want to hear what they were saying, but I didn't want to lose track of my family members, of course. So I, put them on snooze for 30 days. So I said, I don't want to watch you. I don't want to look at your posts. Okay. You're talking too many political stuff. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Or you can unfollow them, which means you stop seeing posts, but you're not unfriending them. So there's a difference between unfollow and unfriend. Okay. Unfollow means you're not going to see their post. Unfriends is go away. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay. And then at the very bottom of the list is your report. Okay. Report a post. So if somebody is saying something that you think is dangerous, if you think that it's abusive, if you think it's, something that you should report to somebody, then click on that and do your reporting. And the same system happens within your messenger. Okay, so if you're talking to somebody, you can click on their names, and this will appear. And when you see something's wrong down here, that's where you can report the messenger of it, or you can block them, or you can ignore their messages. Okay. So that function is very, very important for everybody to know. You can block, report, or ignore
Mhm.
posts, and you can do the same thing with messengers.
All right.
Okay.
I have one
And
question on that one before we move on. Sorry. Or you want to finish first before I ask the question? If
no,
it's
no, no, go
just
ahead.
all right. Just recently, one of my business pages, I received a supposed notification from FB. It says that my account is going to be shut down because I have been sending whatever things, and then it says to click, but it's like a Google something. So I just deleted it. Right? I'm supposed they should email me, right? Not message me
Okay.
like that.
So first of all, no global federal law enforcement agency in any world will send you a Facebook message. Never, never, never. In the United States, if it's FBI, if it's local law enforcement, if it's anybody, they will, I won't say never, but 99% of the chance that it's not going to be a law enforcement agent. Okay.
Okay.
If they're asking you to click on something,
Yes.
that is
Phishing.
the signature of a cyber criminal.
It's a good thing. I deleted it.
Re- report. What I always do is report, delete.
Oh, I didn't report.
Okay.
I deleted.
Yep.
Next
Report,
time, report,
delete.
delete. All right. So report,
Report,
delete.
delete.
All right. Thank you.
and
Okay.
and then within your settings as well, you can go ahead, and this is actually very interesting. You can actually put here, your block users, your block messages. you
Mm-hmm.
can you can see who you block. You can block your invites, and you can block event invites. Okay, so this is an area where you can manage all of these things. And say, for instance, that Susan just asked, if you unfollow somebody, will that person
Yes.
still see your post?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they will see yours, but you won't see theirs.
Mm.
Okay, so when you unfollow somebody, you're basically saying, you're still my friend, but I don't want to hear from you. Okay,
So, but
I don't want to
if you
hear.
want to do the other way around, it's like it's okay for you to. Okay, I can see their post. But I don't want them to see mine. So, what's an option for that, or is there an option
so
for that
So that's your
other than
restricted
block?
that yeah, that's your restricted list. Okay.
Oh,
You
restricted.
see right here?
Uh
You can
huh.
edit this list. And when you add a friend to your restricted, you won't see posts on Facebook that you share only to friends. You can actually set your post with different settings. Okay.
It's restricted.
So
Okay. All
correct.
right. Okay.
All right. And I know that I gave you guys a lot of things here. What I will do, Lala, is I'm going to give you these slides, and so
Mhm.
that you can share with your group. And if anybody
Oh,
needs the
thank
groups,
you.
you can share them with them at any point in time.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric. And then just one last comment. I think it's Ayin. Okay, it's not working again. My comments. Okay, ha ha ha. I feared blocking, but not. I think she said, but now I have the courage. Yes, I think it's a
That's right.
cultural thing. You know, it's like when you unfriend somebody or when you block somebody, it's something that
Be
yeah, it's so
strong.
hard. Yeah, be strong. All right, Eric, for a
Be
while.
strong.
Okay, so I would like to invite if you liked what you've seen so far today. Okay, please. Eric Belardo has a YouTube channel. It's called Eric Belardo Cyber. All right, so not just about Facebook or social media. He talks a lot about safety. Okay, in the cyber world in his YouTube channel. Also, he has a Twitter account. Okay, so he's ebelardo 73. All right, so if you want more information, just go there. Or how about email, Eric? Can they if they have questions, they want to hire your services? How do they get in touch with you?
Well,
There.
first get me on the Twitter, and I will direct you guys to those emails and stuff like that. But yeah,
All
definitely
right.
like and subscribe with Lala right here. Please make sure that you follow this channel, because this is a great channel.
Oh, thank
But
you,
if you
Eric.
also but if you also want, go to my YouTube channel. I do a lot of news and breaking stuff. I do respond to all the comments there. So if you comment on something, I will respond personally. And my Twitter, that's the Twitter that I use on a day-to-day basis. So I will make sure that respond, and go ahead and shoot me a direct message there as well.
Thank
Okay.
you, Eric. Susan says, thanks for sharing the slides. My memory is like a sieve. Yeah, same here, Susan. All right. And Ayin says, I will definitely like and subscribe. Thank you, Ayin. It's really worth it. Promise. Okay. Thank you for coming on the show today. All right. Okay. So with that, Eric, I thank you so very much. I know it's like 9:09 already there in the US, and you've had so much still to do. So thank you so much for coming in, Eric. All right. So, and with that, okay, I would like it to invite everybody to join us again this Saturday for tomorrow, okay, for another crafty night with Mami Lala and friends. So, with that, Eric, thank you so much, and bye. Thank you. All right, everybody, for those who are new to the channel, okay, please follow me on YouTube, okay, and Instagram, and on Facebook. All right. Okay, hold on. All right. So with that, thank you so much again, Sir Mr. Eric Belardo. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.